This is something that Michael Malice brought up. He said, how you define the new right is this. Let me ask you a question, Alex. Do you think that some people are better than others?
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
So he said the right will tell you yes, and the left will give you an explanation, or like justify or something. And I just said my answer was like simply yes. But it's an interesting way to define it, and I see his point. But I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you. It's a very simple statement. Some people are better than others. Now, if you want to get into specifics, some people are better at basketball than others. It's very obvious. But the left views it from a very like identitarian view. Like when you ask them, are some people better than others? They take it to a racial or gender or like, inherent identity place. Whereas my initial reaction was like, that's a very broad question that could mean a bunch of different things. Some people are better at printing guns than I am. And some people know a lot more, are better at me than answering gun trivia than I am. Yeah, absolutely. It reminds me like when I was little, I would always hear like these teenage girls use the word ignorant. They'd be like, that's so ignorant. You're so ignorant. And I'm like, do you know what ignorant means? It means like not understanding or like lacking knowledge. And they're like, no, it means rude. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Like, I understand the concept you think you're using it, the context you think you're using it in. But I was like, everyone is ignorant in some form. And they would get all angry about it.
Was it annoying when you were young how like sometimes popular people would be stupid and they'd say stupid stuff like that? And you'd be like, have to just deal with it because they were like part of the gang, the popular gang.
I mean, they were smart. They were really dumb, unpopular kids too. And they were, I don't know, where I grew up was kind of a mixed bag.
It's just so frustrating when the people that are like lauded by the crowd are not necessarily the smartest people.
What are they lauded by the crowd for?
Because they're beautiful, because they're good at sport, because they're fast. I don't know.
There you go. Well, not everybody
but
is
then
smart.
they'd say stuff like ignorance means
that's
stupidity.
But that's the important point about the question. Are some people better than others? You could be stupid but strong as an ox. And then you have like
right.
Talent,
well, some people are better at certain things than others, but those other people might be better at certain things than them. So to say that some people are better than others is not accurate. I don't think
it is.
I think no, it's situational.
But
like you might be better at shooting
right.
guns, but I might be better at doing math.
You're
so it doesn't
correct.
mean that you're better than me or I'm better than you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
We're both better than each other, so it's redundant.
This is exactly the point I was just making. When you ask someone if some people are better than others, I'm not making a judgment on a person's value. I'm analyzing a very simple statement about whether some people are better than others.
But that doesn't make sense because if you're better than me at something and I'm better than you at something, then we're both better than each other. It cancels it. It does.
So people are better than each other.
So you couldn't say that I'm better than you. You couldn't say that you're better than me.
But you just
so
said
the answer
I'm
would be no.
But you can't equate like skateboarding with shooting guns are different things.
You
so
could
that's
say
the
some
point.
people are better at certain things
This is
than
exactly
other
the
people.
point. You're over-analyzing the question.
No, I'm analyzing the question.
No, you're over-analyzing.
I'm not. I'm simply giving you a factual analysis of the question.
I think you don't understand Michael Malice's question.
His question is too simplistic.
On purpose.
Yeah.
The point is the right will simply say yes, and the left will give you an explanation. And that's exactly right. Whereas we view it very simply, you are going into great detail about what quantifies certain things, and that's new right versus new left. That's exactly his point.
Okay. I don't think I'm on the left personally.
But to Michael Malice's question, you would be.
Okay.
And
thanks, Mike.
Well, I guess it'd be probably better for Michael to more accurately define, how that works. But I understand. It's when I ask this of like general lefties, they'll start saying like, well, what do you mean by better? And like, well, not everybody. And it's like, okay, there you go. Like you say no more. That's the point. Different worldviews and different like. I guess as who made this point? Who was on the show? Oh, Matt Brainerd. Inductive reasoning versus deductive reasoning is like, your emotions versus logic, et cetera, and things like that. But how about we derail entirely back